Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. My name is Monique and this is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support here on the channel. For those of you that would like to book a private reading, you can find my email down below in the description box. Just send me an email and I will provide you with more information on booking readings as well as other services with me. For those of you that are wanting to join channel memberships, there are 2 tiers that are available. Please join the tier labeled Starborn if you are wanting access to the members only videos. If you're not seeing that option come up for you, I heard in through the comments or just reading through the comments that some people were saying when they were trying to join, it was only showing that there was only 1 tier available. So if you're wanting to join, specifically with the purpose or the intention of accessing the exclusive videos, try using a web browser such as Chrome, Google, to log into YouTube that way and searching for the channel, my channel, and then clicking join there. It should bring up both options, both the first and the second level tier. And Starborn is the one that you are wanting to join if you're wanting access to those videos. All right, so today's pick a card reading, we are doing how can you find more purpose in your life? Okay, so how can you find more purpose in your life? And we're going to do 3 groups for today. So let's go with choosing one of these oracle cards first, and then we'll add some crystals on here to help you with choosing. So how can you find more purpose in your life? So group 1, how can you find more purpose in your life? How can you find more purpose in your life? We're going to take that one for pile 1 or group 1. Group 2, how can you find more purpose in your life? And for group 3, we're going to take that one. Okay, so let's see what we have. For group 1, we have the magical child. For group 2, we have Lattice of the soul. And for group 3, we have a psychic portal. Okay, so I'm just going to put some crystals on here for you guys to help you with choosing. I think pile 2, we're going to do Angel Aura Quartz for you. And just a little look at that. Angel Aura Quartz, that's going to be for pile 2. And then I think we're going to do group 3. You're going to be this strawberry. I can't remember if this is strawberry quartz. It might be a strawberry quartz. I think strawberry quartz. And then group 1, you are going to be this pink Lemurian quartz. Okay, so those are the choices for today. How can you find more purpose in your life? If you do feel drawn to more than one of the groups, that is perfectly okay for today's reading. Go with whatever your intuition is leading you towards the most. Timestamps will be down below for you guys, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1. So those of you that resonated with the magical child card and the pink Lemurian quartz, this is going to be your reading today. So we are finding out how can you find more purpose in your life. So this is going to be your first oracle card. I am going to be shuffling out the rest of your cards. Okay. So let's get a little bit more information for you. Pile 1 or group 1. How can you find more purpose in your life? How can you find more purpose in your life, group 1? Okay, so we have number 26, the ruler. And let's see what else. How can you find more purpose in your life, group 1? We have the keeper of pleasure. And let's see. How can group 1 find more purpose in their life? We have winter. I think we can fit another card up here, so let's move these down. And how can group 1 find more purpose in their life? We've got the holler. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with this, with your oracle cards first. We are going to be adding in some tarot as well. Actually, no, I think I want to pull some more of these oracle cards just to get a little bit more information. I think we're going to do the tarot after. So group 1, how can you find more purpose in your life? And I feel because you started off with the magical child, we have magical power. Okay. Yeah, I feel like because you chose the magical child here, I do feel like the key to finding more purpose in your life is to connect to your inner child. Okay. And we'll talk about how this is all working to your benefit. We also have the raven. Beautiful. How can group 1 find more purpose? We've got the apple blossoms. It says choices, knowledge, and illumination. White are the flowers of apple tree that brings us fruit and fertility. Okay, and how can you find more purpose in your life? We have the highwayman. It says indomitable spirit and legacy. And it says also reincarnation with the number 20. And let's pull one of these. How can you find more purpose in your life? We have the doll. Okay. All right, so like I said, I do feel because you guys started off with the magical child, a lot of this is talking about you connecting in with your inner child. I think I'm going to read the message with this. This is from the Divine Muses Oracle deck. Okay, Divine Muses. Let's see. Magical child. There it is. Okay, so it says imagination, wonder, joy, and optimism. The magical child card is about playing and rekindling one's youthful nature. She brings a message of joy and optimism into your life that is innocent and sweet. She asks that you go back to a time when you thought anything was possible, when you thought you could do and be anything, back to the days when your spirit was pure and true. Maybe you believe in magic, and you guys have magical power here. It says you still hold this pure, positive, sacred power in your heart where your inner magical child lives. And if you feel like you have lost this feeling, you can and will attune to it again. Your ability for second sight existed powerfully in your childhood. Remember the time when you could sense things in the peripheral world? Maybe you could, maybe you kept it quiet because you feared people would judge you. As we get older, our magical gifts can become quashed by skeptics, and then we question and doubt ourselves as life takes its toll. After all these years, we may think that our gifts have vanished, but in reality, our special skills stay with us and are accessible now. You still have the same gifts you possessed in childhood. You just need to clear the obstacles and invite your inner child out to play. Open your imagination and rediscover your magic. This card may be asking you to bring out your instruments or sacred tools and open up to the pure power that resides within you. How this looks will be unique to each person. Here's a hint. It is whatever you did in your youth that made you feel a surge of positive energy. It is so clear and easy for you because it comes so naturally. This is when you are creatively flowing with your inner child, your divine sweetness. Come back to the simple ways of the heart. Play an instrument or game, dance, color, amuse yourself in whatever brings you joy. This is the way to connect with your inner child. Do you remember what it was like to feel the wonder and innocence of childhood? It was as if all possibilities existed. They still exist. You can feel that joyful and in awe of the world again. It's a mindset. When we are carefree and see the beauty in all things, this is magic. Okay. Now, I do understand, that there are some of you that could be watching um, this reading that have childhood trauma. Okay. Not for everyone, but so there are some out there. And so that can, you know, certainly make it a little bit more difficult to access the inner child because the inner child might be wounded. However, this could be thinking back to a time before that trauma happened, because sometimes, for those of you that have experienced that, seeing beyond the pain and the trauma is where kind of like where you need to start, is maybe focusing on trying to move through that energy so that you are able to then access and reconnect to reintegrate with the inner child. That might be kind of like your starting point for those of you that are there. And it's not to say that you have to, completely heal before you can connect with your inner child, but you can certainly, connect, set the intention to connect with your inner child to help you to heal as well. Okay. So I also notice here that you have the Keeper of Pleasure. And so I feel like that certainly goes back into your childlike energy here, where you are taking time to remember those things that do bring you joy, that do bring you happiness, so that you are doing more of those things. Also, your ruler here, number 26, with the, what is it? Rose du Ra. I can't even say that pronounce that correctly. But this is connected to Leo energy. And this card talks about strength, leadership, empathy, decisions, and power. Okay. So for some of you, this may be about you working towards building up your confidence, your self-esteem. Okay. Leo is all about power and confidence, okay? This is also about you stepping up into a leadership type of position. Now, that doesn't just necessarily mean that that's what you're doing for, say, like a career or a job, but it's about you kind of taking control, you taking the reins back of your own life. Now, when we're asking this question, how can you find more purpose in your life? And I think I'm going to kind of give the same message across the board for all of the groups. But one of the things that we want to do is we want to evaluate our life, okay, at present, and take a kind of broad perspective on everything that we have going on in our life. We also want to make sure that we're setting some goals. We're allowing ourselves to try new things. We're bringing positive people or surrounding ourselves with positive people into our life. This can also be about recognizing what your strengths and your talents in, and that can certainly be going into, taking the initiative to discover what those strengths are and your natural talents are. Because again, going back into this inner child energy, each of us, right? Each of us has something very special and unique to us. Okay, so it's going to be very different for all of you. But also notice that this is number 8 too, which is also the strength card. But yeah, so I feel like doing that, as well as maybe for some of you volunteering, okay, your time or your energy into certain things that are of interest to you. Adopting a growth mindset is also going to be something that's helpful. And like I said, for some of you that have gone through certain past traumas, that might make it a little bit more challenging for you, but not impossible, okay, for you to be able to help yourself to find more purpose in your life and I feel like the root of it is connecting in with your inner child, okay? Because you do have magical power here as well. And I almost feel like with this magical power coming up, that some of you do have also some very strong spiritual gifts, a very strong intuition that is already probably giving you some clues as to where your path is, or what your path is, what your purpose is, what your mission is, or to help you, to lead you and guide you. So that might be things that you kind of notice are kind of coming up, things that you're noticing maybe in your life, signs, synchronicities, that are kind of giving you clues there, okay? You also have this winter card here, and with winter, when I think about this card, I think about quiet, stillness, you taking some time to reflect and do some introspection. Okay, that might even be working towards purifying your own energy, taking time to rest, taking time to reflect inwards. Okay, maybe something that you want to do there. We do also have choices, knowledge, and illumination. So I feel like this kind of goes into you taking some time to think about what types of things you are interested in. And if you really don't know, like I don't know what I like, this is where trying new things, surrounding yourself with positive people so that people that inspire you. This is where you can sit down with them and ask questions, kind of get to build connections with people, that could be doing things in their life that are new, that are exciting, that might even inspire you to try something new for yourself and kind of lead you down a path of self-discovery, in that this is helping to lead you to finding more fulfillment and happiness in your life as well. Okay. And then you also have the Raven here as well, which I do want to see what this card is about, actually, with the Raven, aside from the obvious of ravens being so closely connected to this spirit realm messengers. But let's see, this is 17. Okay, so yes, it says prophecy and spiritual insight, bringer of news, good or bad, a tough lesson, and the truth. So I almost feel like for you with this here is you connecting to your intuition. You know, like I said, I do feel like those of you that chose this pile are very intuitive, and those messages are already there. Okay. Those messages are already being communicated to you. You know, this may also be reconnecting back into your spirit team. Okay. Asking your spirit team, your higher self, to show you signs, and then being open to seeing those signs. And also, when we're being open to spirit, you know, in the ways in which spirit does communicate with us, sometimes the way these messages come through might not be in the way that we're expecting them to. So this is where being observant and being open is going to be very important. Okay. So, you know, you might be expecting, let's just say that you're asking your spirit team, you know, how can I find my purpose, or even what is my purpose? And you're looking everywhere, right? Out in life, walking down the street, you're looking everywhere. And you're like, where's the sign? I don't see the sign. And then, you know, spirit might transfer the message or give you the message through a song that comes on the radio, and you might overlook that. So this is where needing to be open to that communication, I feel like, is going to be something that is super helpful for you in that as well. Okay. This holler here, it almost makes me feel, because there is a forest that's here, and I was actually doing somebody's private reading, I think it was last week, where there was a card in another deck that I was using about forest, and about kind of going into that darkness, going into getting lost, getting found, is basically what the message with that person's reading was. Getting lost, getting found. And this is kind of remind me that as well, because you have both in this winter card here, there's a tree, and then also in the holler here, there's a bunch of those wooded area there as well. You know, and I feel like with that, it's going back into your inner child here, because if you think about your childlike self in the forest, your inner child would be looking to discover, to explore, to get lost, right? To get lost in the trees, and to exploring everything that's in the forest. So yeah, I really feel like this could be something where you guys just kind of take that time to really take a pause, take a rest, and take that time to reconnect to feeling, what are those gifts that I do have? What are my natural talents and skills and ability, right? The things that you used to like to do when you were a child, that can give you those clues. Now I want to look at the doll really quick and see. And for those of you that are wanting to know what decks I'm using, I always list them in the description box for you guys, so you can find them there. Okay. So, oh, look at this. The doll is about illusion, old wounds, and childhood. That's interesting, because when we pulled your magical child card, I was saying some of you might have a little bit of difficulty because you may have gone through some type of trauma. So we've got old wounds here in childhood with illusion. But I do feel like your inner child is the key, okay, for you, pile one. It makes me feel that because there's all this beautiful childlike energy that's already present here, not only are you very intuitive, some of you might have some very strong psychic gifts here as well. Okay, as an added bonus here. But I feel like maybe even not only just your inner child, but connecting in with those spiritual gifts that you have and using them, right, in your everyday life could be something that helps you to feel like you have more purpose. You feel more tuned in, you feel more connected. I do feel like is going to be something for you there as well. You also have this indomitable spirit here. Indomitable spirit. Let me look this up really quick. And this one says, oh wow, this one says reincarnation. Wasn't there another message here that was talking about reincarnation? Oh no, that's right, it did. It said it on the side of the card. Okay. So it says, I am an eternal soul, endlessly awakening and evolving. I carry the wisdom with me, and I'll come back again and again and again. It says completion, elevating to a higher status or level of understanding, graduating from one stage in life to another, a transition, the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another one, and reaping rewards. So this makes me feel of what I was talking about earlier about adopting the growth mentality, the growth mindset in terms of you. Like I said, it might help you with even like your goal setting, you know, like, okay, I have this talent, I have this skill, this is what I love, this is what I'm passionate about. I'm taking the initiative to put yourself first, to, you know, connect in with your intuition and what your intuition is already saying to you about that. But it's like once you achieve a certain goal, right? Even if it's not a huge one, but it just little ones of a goal that you set for yourself, set the next one, right? So we're continuing allow ourselves to grow, okay? So that growth type of mentality, which means that once we get to that, we're, you know, that first step where it is that we want to be, we set the next goal, right? So it's kind of like we're raising the bar higher and higher and higher, and believe in yourself, because your inner child believes in themselves. Okay, there's a huge imagination that is here of believing that you can do anything. And I feel like that's the power in which that your inner child does have. So I feel like this is going to serve you well by taking that time to really connect in with your inner child. Okay, so let's pull your tarot. And see what other messages we have for you. So how can you find more purpose in your life? Group 1, pile 1, group 1. How can you find more purpose? We've got the 7 of Swords. We've got the Lovers. How can you find more purpose? We've got the Hierophant. Okay. Some of you, I feel like with the Hierophant energy being present, the Hierophant can be a teacher, even a mentor. Okay. So some of you having someone who like I said, you look up to, or who inspires you, okay, could be beneficial to you. Someone who's very wise, someone who is very knowledgeable. Some of you, I do feel like you're naturally gifted at teaching. Okay. Maybe sharing what you know, the knowledge that you have, in whatever kind of niche it is in. Sharing what you know, teaching what you know, okay? Because you're able to share your wisdom with others. Those of you that might feel some insecurities about doing so, this is where you're going to need to work on those insecurities there, okay? The other thing that I'm seeing here is, because the Hierophant is also about higher education and learning, maybe this means taking a class, okay? Something that interests you, and then learning about it, okay? Studying it. Could be something that helps you to find more purpose. So let's just say you're interested in astrology, okay? Take an astrology course, kind of immerse yourself into that discovery mode, right? The inner child-like type of energy of, I'm excited about this, I'm passionate about it, and I'm going to study it, I'm going to learn it, I want to explore all of it, okay? Now, the Seven of Swords energy can sometimes also be when our mind has many different ideas, you know, because yes, you connect to your inner child. Your inner child is full of ideas, of imagination. So if you are someone who has a tendency to feel a little scattered, okay, a little scatterbrained, or like your attention is kind of like all over the place and you have a hard time kind of focusing, the Seven of Swords, maybe this is for you to kind of write down those ideas, okay? This would more or less be about you organizing your thoughts. Organizing your thoughts and kind of tuning it down, right? Fine-tuning it. You also have the Lover's energy here, which is about a choice of the heart. So take some time to think about what you love. What is... And again, this is going to be that process of self-discovery, because some of you might say like, well, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I love. This is where you're being encouraged to try new things, okay? Connect with new people. Kind of some of the tips that I gave you earlier, okay? Positive people, volunteering, trying new things, okay? How can you find more purpose in your life? Group 1. You also have the 10 of Wands. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like this 10 of Wands here kind of goes into that place of evaluating your life. And if everything that's in your life right now, are you happy with it? Okay. Because the 10 of Wands can certainly be when we feel overwhelmed. We have a lot of responsibilities. We're carrying a lot of weight on our shoulders, or I feel like at this point, this is where Spirit is asking you, what can you let go of? What can you release that is not in alignment with where you are wanting to journey to, or to what you want your life to look like? What can you let go of? Okay. It may also be kind of just taking time to rest, taking time to actually have that time to spend where your entire day is not completely filled, you know, to its max, and you have zero time for yourself, zero time to figure it out, right? So how can you find more purpose in your life? Group 1. How can Group 1 find more purpose? The Chariot. Okay. The Chariot. The Queen of Cups. Yes, okay. So the Queen of Cups energy is about your intuition. Okay, so like I said, I do feel like those of you that chose this pile are very intuitive. And connecting into your intuition is going to lead you into the right direction. Okay? Because this is also connected in with your heart, also your creative energy. So it's almost like Spirit is saying to you here, let your heart, let your intuition guide you. Learn to trust. Okay? The Chariot also has to do with willpower, with determination, with focus, making progress, movement forward. Okay? So maybe this is learning to trust your intuition. Learn to trust your heart and where it's guiding you. Okay? Be open to the signs from Spirit, especially with that Raven card showing up. I do feel like you already have a very strong connection to Spirit. We have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is also very passionate, very creative, very charismatic energy. It's a very much like go-getter, go get it type of energy, go get it type of mentality. We have the King of Swords. And then you have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so Three of Pentacles is about networking. It's about collaborating with others. So again, and I'm noticing we have the King of Swords energy here, and you also have the Hierophant. So like I said, some of you may benefit from a mentor, a teacher, somebody who inspires you, somebody who is very knowledgeable, somebody who... You know, and it doesn't even need to be that it's a person who does what you want to do. It's more or less about you being able to talk to that person, communicate with them. You know, you might look at somebody who does some type of job or hobby, and you ask them, how did you get started in this? Or what made you go into doing that? You know, where you can just kind of pick their brain a little bit and kind of see what led them down the path that they're on, okay? Because we do have the King of Swords energy here, which is a visionary, you know? And I do feel like you too, Group 1, have, like I said, a very strong intuition. The King of Swords is about higher consciousness. It's about emotional intelligence. It's also about you creating or having a vision, a dream, and then being able to execute those ideas or that plan. This also does require discipline, okay? So maybe there's a person who can say, you can ask like, hey, how did you become more disciplined? Or how do you do you keep yourself on a schedule? Do you have a certain routine, to be able to connect with other people so that you can learn, right, from that, which is really basically what the Hierophant is about: teaching, learning, studying, education, knowledge, maybe something powerful there. And some of you, like I said, that do feel drawn to teaching, leading, guiding. Teach what you know, okay? Teach what you know. And I feel also with the Queen of Wands energy being present, this is about you discovering your passions, okay? And truly, because I feel like this too goes into confidence and believing in yourself, letting your heart be your guide, okay, is going to be another thing here. All right, so let's see if there's any last message that Spirit has for you. Group 1. Let's see, any other... Oops, last message or guidance. Group 1. How can you find more purpose in your life, group 1? Healing and courage. Okay. Healing and courage is what Spirit is saying. So, like I said, some of you may have some inner child wounds here, or even wounds from, you know, your past. And maybe those wounds have been something that have affected your self-esteem, or have affected your confidence, or have created insecurities. So this is where you're working towards addressing those and helping to build up your strength, your inner strength, your courage. Okay, to not be afraid of doing the things, because again, your inner child believes they can do anything. Limitless potential and possibilities. It is us as adults, right? Because depending on what kind of a life experiences we have, that can limit us, right? And the Hierophant also has to do with beliefs. So do you have limiting beliefs that you could work towards changing? You know, are some of the insecurities and fears that you have, are they valid? Because the King of Swords is all about truth, about facts. Okay? So let's just say that your belief is, I'm not good enough at that. I could never do that because I'm not good enough, right? Is that belief true? Is that statement true? No. Okay? So this is where we are working on healing, maybe for some of you, the mindset, the insecurities, the fears surrounding that. Because the King of Swords, you know, being that it's all about facts and truth, the truth is that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are deserving of happiness, joy in your life, of purpose in your life, okay? So maybe for some of you it is and does require you to work on your self-esteem, on your courage of knowing that you can achieve what you set your mind to. We have open at the bottom with the key, okay? So I love that. All right, so that is all that I have for you, group 1. I do hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, pile 2 or group 2. This is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out, how can you find more purpose in your life? So the card that you chose was the Lattice of the Soul. Okay. And this is from the Divine Muses Oracle. So we're going to start off by pulling first the rest of your oracle cards. Should I put this over here? The rest of your oracle cards, and then we will get into your reading. So just to kind of sum it up, however, I am going to read the message that comes with, that's in the guidebook for this card, because it does give a lot of good information as far as where the Spirit is kind of taking this message for you. But to just kind of sum it up, it's basically with how can you find more purpose in your life. This is going to be starting within you in terms of your personal transformation, letting go of those parts of self that are inauthentic, that are kind of hindering you from your best version of self, okay, to just kind of sum it up. But let's see, group 2, how can you find more purpose in your life? We have the Storyteller. Okay, I like that. So already with this Storyteller type of energy, I feel like this kind of goes into what story you are telling yourself. Okay, maybe it's an old story, maybe it's a story, an old version of yourself that is no longer relevant. Okay, so we'll just kind of see where this is going. But group C, how can, maybe it's time to create a new story, right? A new version of your life or yourself or your path. Let's see. How can you find more purpose in your life? Group 2. We've got the Keeper of Hope. I love that. The Keeper of Hope. Okay, so let's just say this old version of you, or even that version of you right now, that has no faith, has no trust, has no hope, has felt like all hope is lost, or I'm never going to find purpose, I'm always going to feel stuck, or I'm always going to feel lost, right? Let's reinvent this new version of you, where hope is restored, where faith and trust in yourself is something that is very much a part of you. So how can you find more purpose? We've got the Labyrinth. What am I going to do with this? Let's put this down here, I guess. We'll try to fit it in somewhere. somewhere. How can you find more purpose in your life? Group 2. Okay, so you guys got 2 here. We've got the Veil and also Steps. Veil and Steps. So we're going to have to make room for this because you guys got an extra card here. Okay. So I do apologize, guys. I'm still a little congested from my cold, and it's annoying. Annoying. I might sound a little stuffy. Okay, so let's see. How can you find more purpose in your life? Group 2. Success. I've never actually seen this card come out for anybody. This is beautiful. Look how there's a little plant here that's so tiny still, that's kind of growing and sprouting out of the ground with the star on top of it. Okay. So now let's pull. Okay, I'm going to have to cover that one. It says belonging, relief, and sanctuary. Okay, belonging, relief, and sanctuary. I think I'm going to have to put a crystal on top of it but it's basically an adult beverage that's on this card. Okay. It says a cold one. Belonging, relief, and sanctuary. And how can you find more purpose in your life? Group 2. Okay, you guys are getting more cards than the other pile. Okay, so we have Magnolia. It says nobility and self-esteem. It says there is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. I love that. Your former self. You're not really trying to be, say, better than that person or this person and comparing yourself, you know? So letting go of the whole need to compete, right? Competition. Be in competition with your past version of yourself. We also have graciousness and benevolence here. It says no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Okay. So let's put these here, and then how can you find more purpose in your life? Yeah, so maybe for some of you that chose this pile, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't compare your path to anyone else's. Don't compare yourself to siblings, to family members, to coworkers, and say, oh, well, that person, you know, is 22 years old and they're already this, or they're already that, and I don't feel like I have that yet, or I didn't do that yet. That's, compare yourself to your old version of self, or even, think about in terms of where you want your future self to be, and think about that version of you right now, or even that past version of yourself, and what are the differences, right? What changes do you need to make into your life in order to step into that new version of self? And so I feel like that's where that card here is going to kind of tie all of this together. But to sum it up, yes, it is about your personal transformation and kind of like the process of alchemy and transmutation of the old self into the new version of self. So how can you find more purpose? Because I feel like that process is helping you to uncover you and who you really are, who you truly are, without all the muck covering it. Okay. You also have the crystal ball here. And then we're going to pull one more card and we're going to read that message. So how can you find more purpose in your life? Group 2. We have Maria Sabina with healing. Okay. Maria Sabina with healing. Okay. Let's look at this message with the Lattice of the Soul. And for those of you, I don't know if I said this already, that are wanting to know what tarot and oracle decks I'm using, I always list them in the description box. Okay. All right. So the Lattice of the Soul says purification, ablution, spark of light, and albedo. The Lattice of the Soul represents the albedo, or whitening phase of the alchemical process. Albedo is often called the aurea aura, or hour of gold. As we first encounter the seed of the new self following the decomposition in the blackening phase, we encounter purification after the death in Negrito. It is the washing away of the putrefied parts of ourselves, which we no longer need to take with us on the path to wholeness. The Lattice of the Soul is where we begin to feel the body's spirit. We sense a glimmer of light. The struggle that we once found in the Raven King falls away. So the Raven King is another card in this deck. It is here that we know it was worth the fight we endured with our shadows. We better understand that our demons can be conquered. We start to see with more clarity our purest form. We gain further awareness that beyond the struggle lies gold, our inner gold. Albedo is related to several alchemical processes, one of which is ablution, which washes away debris or impurities using liquid. So in this case, this is a metaphorically speaking, right? You are washing away those parts of self that are not truly you, whether that is belief systems, insecurities, fears, right? Because all of those things that are not truly you can certainly get in the way of you having and feeling more purpose in your life, because those are things that are limiting you from feeling it or having it. It says, in a way, albedo is like a spiritual baptism, offering a purification of our sins, quote unquote sins. However, what we clear away is not what we've done wrong, but what doesn't work for us anymore. There's nothing to blame. There's just the recognition of the truth of who you are. If in Negrito, the Raven King, you were able to honestly look at your shadow and surrender your burdens into the fire, then what remains is your unencumbered self. You've sloughed off the debris of your older self and revealed your pure potential. You begin to see the light and form of your inner self. Now the alchemist begins to experience the inner world as being light-filled, the initial inner brightness which is often erroneously mistaken for true illumination. The lattice of the soul speaks about an experience of light that is seen with the mind's eye during visualization or meditation as a swirling white or golden light. This phenomenon is a sign that you have entered the albedo phase, the aurora aura. You may feel like you're bursting with light, and indeed you radiate like a star. There's your star right there. When you scrub away the debris that doesn't support you on your path, you shine brighter and feel aligned with your purpose, and that light brightens the world for us all. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, so the last thing that I think that I need to look at here is your crystal ball and the labyrinth here. So let's see, what is the labyrinth? The labyrinth says moving through something either physically or in your mind. Okay, seeing a new place or a perspective. I feel like in this case it could be a perspective for you. Mentally, emotionally moving through something. Through that process of purifying, right? Those old parts of yourself. Like I said, with the storyteller here, look at the stories that you tell yourself. Okay, maybe those are internal self-sabotaging thoughts that you want to look at. Okay, the storyteller is also Leo energy. Leo energy, and this has a lot to do with daydreaming. Okay, so I do feel like Spirit is also encouraging you to do some daydreaming, because I feel like this is also going to be something that helps you to arrive at or guiding you towards the things that do bring more purpose into your life. Now, I don't know if I've said this already, but I did tell pile number 1, when we're asking today, how can you find more purpose in your life? Some important things to take into account are, first off, evaluating your life. Okay? Everything in it, evaluating it, and taking time to find whether or not the things that you do have in your life, do they hold any meaning for you? Or do you feel like you are on autopilot with them? Do you feel that they bring you a sense of happiness and fulfillment? And I'm guessing if you're at this reading, probably not. There are certain things that you feel like don't align, okay? And maybe that can also be where you purify, in a sense, okay? And only leave the things that are valuable to you, that hold meaning for you. So evaluating your life, setting goals, okay, for yourself, trying new things, surrounding yourself with positive people that inspire you, volunteering your time towards the things that are of interest to you, because it is through that process of volunteering that you meet people, that you connect with people, that you can ask people questions like, what are you doing in your life? Like, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? So you kind of like opening the door to learning, exploring, okay? Adopting a growth mindset, okay? Meaning that you set a goal, say for yourself, okay, here I am today. This is what's going on in my life at this time. This time next year, I want to have achieved this goal. So you're constantly growing, okay? Versus stagnant, right? So what are we doing today that is going to help us to get, say, to the next level? Okay, so adopting a growth mindset, and also recognizing what your strengths and your talents are. Okay, we all have natural strengths, things we're good at, things we need to work on. Recognize what your strengths are. Okay, and if you don't know what they are, this is where you need to take some time to get to know yourself, right? In the same way that we're always interested in knowing other people, what if you directed that time and that focus and that energy towards yourself? Recognize what your strengths are, recognize what your natural talents are, okay? Let's look at your crystal ball here. That is 50. Okay, so your crystal ball says clairvoyance, scrying, meditation, seeing ghosts or spirits. So I feel like more or less with our question today, we're asking, how can you find more purpose in your life? Clairvoyance is going to go into you having a vision. Okay. Now, some of you, of course, that are watching this reading, you could be clairvoyants, but I feel like more or less what this is Spirit kind of encouraging you to do is to dream. Is during your meditation, setting the intention to, you know, connect with your spirit guides and ask your higher self, or connect with your inner child, and, you know, take some time to say, okay, what do I envision myself doing? This is encouraging you with that time to daydream. Okay. And I'm also noticing in this Keeper of Hope card here too, how there's these birds that are kind of flying out of the cage. The cage is open and they're flying out. They're allowing themselves, right, to that freedom. There's also a butterfly here too, which is also, you know, a symbol of transformation. You know, and some of you, there may be some healing that is needed, kind of like I told pile one. Sometimes if we have gone through certain traumas in life, sometimes it's hard for us to see beyond the pain and the suffering that we have. So certainly starting with healing, you know, certain aspects of the self that are limiting you from feeling happy, joy, in your life, and taking care of yourself, right? Self-care, self-love can certainly be where you want to start with helping your life to find more purpose. Because in a way, if we're very wounded, or we've got, you know, some unhealthy patterns of behavior, things like that, we want to address those things first. Because even if the universe kind of dropped your, you know, something with purpose in your life and that is meant for you, are you in a state right now where you're ready for that? You know? And the way that this is making me feel is if someone would have told me 20 years ago, Monique, you're meant to be doing readings on YouTube and helping the collective, and, you know, doing healings for people, and doing private readings and teaching people and things like that. If you would have told me that 20 years ago, I would have laughed at you. I would not believe you at all. I would not believe the person that told me that I would be doing that, right? And it was because I myself had gone through a lot of trauma, and I was not in that state of mind where I was ready for all of this. Okay? So like I said, maybe for some of you, your starting point is, right, that purification process where you are making healing your priority. You know, connecting in with self and saying, okay, what is my body telling me? What is the state of my mental and emotional well-being right now? You know, how can we live and find more purpose in our life if our vessel is not in a good place? If our mental health is not in a good place? Okay? So this is where this is going to be really important for you. And yes, again, to envision, what do you dream of doing, of being? Okay. All right. So what I want to do, I'm going to clear this out, and we're going to look at your tarot here and see what other messages Spirit has about this for you. And also, when we have your little success card here, I look at this as nurturing. Taking time, right? You've got this little plant that's kind of just growing out of the ground here, and it needs nurturing, right? It needs time. It needs patience. And I feel like this is the way in which you need to see yourself, is to give yourself that time. Give whatever it is that you're working towards time to grow, time to evolve, but also continuing to hold out hope, trust, faith, and belief in yourself. Okay. So let's put this here, and I think I'm just going to put your crystal on top so it's not in the way. Now let's look at your tarot. Group 2. How can you find more purpose How can group 2 find more purpose in their life? We have the 8 of Wands. How can group 2 find more purpose in their life? We have the 6 of Cups. We have the 3 of Cups. Okay. So I'm already seeing we've got the 3 of Cups here and also the 6 of Cups. So I do feel for you, group 2. Connections with others is going to be something that is important for you, or connecting with others, spending time with others, building bonds, connections, friendships, kindred spirits, people that are like-minded. Okay. So if you are someone, let's just say, who's typically the loner type, or you may feel like, okay, I don't really have that many friends. I do feel like this is Spirit kind of encouraging you to connect with others, build bonds, friendships, strengthen those connections. The 3 of Cups can also talk about joy, celebration. Okay. So this could be taking some time to think about what does, 7 of Swords, what does bring you joy, right? What brings a smile to your face? What makes you happy? Maybe this, for some of you, is going to be connecting with other people and maybe working on certain things that do make you happy when you're including others, or you're being included, right? Connecting. We also have the 7 of Swords here. We've got the 9 of Cups and also the 10 of Pentacles. How can you find more purpose in your life? Six of Pentacles. Okay, so 6 of Pentacles energy, the Fool, is charity. Okay, charity. So some of you, this might fall into volunteering your time, your energy, because the 6 of Pentacles is about charity. It's also about exchange of energy. Okay, so being that we have the 6 of Cups here and the 3 of Cups, like I said, this is about connections with others, friendships, bonds, kindred spirits, soulmates. They don't necessarily have to be romantic in nature. They can be platonic, which I feel like is more or less what Spirit could be talking about. However, I do feel like relationships are very important for you. Okay? Building healthy relationships. And again, this might go into the part where I was talking about surrounding yourself with positive people. Okay? Now, we do also have the Fool energy showing up. Now, the Fool is about unlimited potential. It's about releasing fear. It's about leaping into the unknown. It's about taking risks in life. It's about exploring your unlimited potential within inside of yourself and the possibilities that are available to you in the world. So this is a need for you to be brave, to be courageous, to try new things, and to not let fear be something that kind of holds you back. But I'm feeling that some of you might find more purpose in your life through connecting with others, socializing with others, building important bonds and friendships and connections, kindred spirits, allowing yourself to have fun with people, with friends. This could even be trying to, and it's not always possible, for some of you might benefit from really strengthening the familial bonds that you do have with family members. Now, that's not always possible, okay, with certain family members, so take it how it resonates for you, okay? We don't always have that privilege of being able to have healthy relationships with family members. Sometimes, you know, it could be a work in progress for some of you, or it could be, you know, where you're just like, okay, no, this family member is not not very harmonious in terms of themselves, so they might not necessarily bring in the harmonious energy that you might need to help you and support you in finding more purpose. But I do feel like for many of you, it could be through charity, which could be volunteering. The Six of Pentacles has to do with giving of your time, your love, your energy, something that you care about. That could be exchanging things with others. Now, let's just say that you have a friend who has had a hidden talent or skill or something that they're really good at, and then you have something that you're really good at. You could be building and connecting with people and exchanging things, okay? Helping each other. Like, let's just say one of your friends is really good at astrology. Okay, we'll just use that. One of your friends is really good at astrology and they know how to read natal charts, and you're really good at doing tarot readings. So you could both kind of enrich each other's lives by exchanging that energy with one another, where you give them a reading, they give you an astrology reading, or, you know, something very different. The Six of Pentacles can also talk about generosity, right? So this may, for some of you, might be donating. You might be donating to a charity. You might say, okay, I'm going to go through my house and I'm going to start getting rid of those things, because again, we're talking about purifying here. We're going to donate clothing. We're going to donate shoes. We're going to donate to a shelter for families. Okay, because the Ten of Pentacles can also be about families. Maybe you want to help out families or do some type of charity work that could help to bring more purpose to your life. But I really feel it's going to be through connections with people, with friends, with like-minded people who may even share the same, wanting to say support the same cause as you. Okay, maybe you're someone who's very passionate about, let's just say, women's rights. Okay, you really care about children, the welfare of children. So you go and you donate your time to children, to the homeless, to, you know, something that is of interest to you. But you might find it more with charity work or with, you know, like I said, donating, giving when you can, how you can. Because with the Nine of Cups energy here, I feel like by you doing that, it is going to give you a sense of satisfaction, a sense of fulfillment, because you're helping. Okay, so some of you might find that is true for you. What else here for pile number 2? How can you find more purpose in your life? How can pile 2 find more purpose? Yeah, Ten of Pentacles also has to do with your family, like your legacy. Okay. So perhaps some of you might also be interested in learning more about your family line, learning more about where you came from. Okay. Maybe that means going back generations, doing a little bit of research, asking questions with the family members that you have that are still living, and learning more about your roots. Okay, it could be something that's very important for you too, because then it's kind of like it gives, I feel like, more insight into who you are, right? Where you come from, what have your family line, generations, ancestors before you, right? If you feel more connected to your family line, you feel more connected to your culture, to, you know, everything about you, learning who you are. Okay. Now, if you are someone who through your family line, there has been certain, say, belief systems or things that have been passed down, this is also time for you to purify those as well, especially if they're no longer in alignment for you. Okay. I'm also feeling for some of you learning to trust in the unknown, learning to trust more of your own intuition and letting it be your guide. Okay, sometimes with the moon energy, things are a little bit obscure. We might not know, okay, well, what if I do this? Is it going to make me happy? Or is it going to make me feel fulfilled? You'll never know unless you try it. Okay, and you, like I said, you do have the full energy here, and that is about taking that leap of faith, doing something different, stepping outside of your comfort zone. Okay, if we want change in our life, we have to be willing to be flexible. We have to be willing to do things differently. You know, sometimes we're stuck in a set way of doing things, right? And we're just like, okay, well, I keep doing this thing every single day, and I keep doing the same thing. It's always the same thing, and it feels boring. It feels mundane, and I don't like this. I want it to be different. I want it to feel different. Okay, well, we've got to change it up. Okay, so this is where you start learning to trust your own intuition and try to move past those insecurities. Don't let fear be something that kind of gets in the way of you being able to do that. Like I said, I do feel like friendships, connections, bonds with others are going to be super important for you. So you feel a sense of purpose, right? You have people that you connect with that are like-minded, and you guys can really connect with each other and inspire one another. Okay, so I do feel like you're going to find more purpose by building up healthy relationships and connections with others, no matter what type of connections they are in your life. I feel like you're going to find that purpose by building those connections with others. Okay, and also with the Six of Pentacles, making sure that those connections are balanced, making sure that you're not always that friend who's carrying the whole weight or doing all the things for that friendship in order to keep it going. That it is a mutual type of energy that you have for your friendship, for your family connection, and also romantic relationships. Does it serve you? Do you feel like you're always the partner who's doing all the things, or you're always that family member that's always doing everything for everybody else? Make sure that those connections are balanced, that it is something that gives back to you, even the place that you work at. Do you feel like you're always the person who's doing all this hard work and your bosses don't see you? Okay, I feel like this is where this requires balance. Okay, it requires harmony. So make sure as you're evaluating your life that your friendships are harmonious, that your romantic relationships are harmonious. The people that you share your time, your love, your energy with, are they harmonious? If they're not balanced, this is time for you to clear out the clutter. Okay, so let's pull your last oracle message here. Group 2, how can you find more purpose in your life? Dreams. Let's pull one more. And freedom. Okay. Yeah, and I'm seeing courage here at the bottom. I think group 1 got that too. But give your... And didn't you have... You did. You had in your hope here another bird cage, and here with this bird cage too, the door is open. Here the lid is open. But this is for you to... I feel that because this bird cage is also sitting at the top of their head, maybe for some of you this is mental, where you have to mentally allow yourself, or your mental certain maybe limiting beliefs are ones that are holding you back. Okay, so we have freedom here, courage to pursue, and I'm feeling to pursue your dreams. Envision yourself, right, being successful. Again, that might go into that growth mindset. Okay, certainly challenging yourself and setting those goals and sticking to them, not being afraid. Okay, all right, so that is all that I have for you, group 2. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi group 3, welcome to your reading. So today we are looking at how can you find more purpose in your life. And I'm already kind of feeling that your pile or your group might be very different than the other groups, because we're starting off with Psychic Portal. Okay, so I'm going to pull the rest of your Oracle cards to see your messages. So let's see, how can group 3 find more purpose in their life? How can group 3 find more purpose in their life? And what I was telling group 1 and group 2, which is going to be very helpful for you, I believe, is taking some time to evaluate your life, okay? Setting goals for yourself, trying new things, surrounding yourself with positive people that are uplifting, that are inspiring to you. Volunteer work, okay, can also be something that helps you to find more purpose in your life. Maybe these are things that you really care about or that you're passionate about. Because it can also introduce you to new people in which you can see kind of like what that person is all about and what has their life been like and what path are they on. And it just kind of gives you that time to kind of see the world in a different way, to kind of broaden your horizons or expand your view. Also adopting a growth mindset, okay, recognizing what your strengths and your talents are, okay, is also going to be something I feel like that's helpful for you guys as well. So you have number 4, the Challenger, okay, and also number 38, Permission. So let's keep going here. How can you find more purpose in your life? We have Apparition. Wow, okay. I'm already feeling some of you that chose this pile have mediumship abilities. Very strong psychic gifts. Some of you might have this gift and are needing to fully allow yourself to open up to it. You could be kind of blocking it out. And I feel like because this is a part of you, I'm feeling that's kind of wanting to come in for you to open yourself up to. Let's see, how can you find more purpose in your life? We have Seeds. Let's see. How can group 2 find more purpose? We have Grounding. Okay. Also noticing that you guys have an anchor in this card, which is an anchor is maybe something that's helping you to anchor into maybe feeling more stable. Okay, maybe for some of you, stability or security. Maybe feeling more stable or secure within yourself, or creating more stability and security within your life. We have Always Joyful, and it says, write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year. Okay, so this can be certainly you allowing yourself to feel more joy or allow more joy and happiness into your life. Now, I do realize, you know, that sometimes if we're going through something, it's not always easy for us to feel joy, okay? It's not always easy for us. Even if we're out and doing something fun, you know, if you've got trauma, if you've got an experience that you're going through right now that is particularly challenging, it may not be easy to feel happy or to experience joy and happiness. We could also, you know, have some healing to do. And because of that, or difficulties and challenges in our life could also be taking our joy away. Okay. taking the fun out of life. So how can you find more purpose in your life, group 3? We have Tower. I wonder if this is like the same meaning as it is in the tarot, the Tower. We'll see. How can you find more purpose in your life, group 3? We have Grit, and it says capability amid instability and crisis. Interesting. With number 16, which is Tower energy. Capability amid instability and crisis. Perhaps some of you that chose this pile are kind of going through that right now, or you have faced a lot of very challenging things in your life. How can you find more purpose in your life? Okay, I'm just going to take the top one. It says endurance. Anna Akhmatova with endurance here. Okay. All right. So I think just to kind of open things up here, we're going to start with this psychic portal because I do feel like this is pretty significant for your pile or your group today. Okay, so let's see. This is from the Divine Muses Oracle. Okay, so it says gateway, sixth sense, and thinning veils. The psychic portal is a bridge to another realm. It's a spiritual gateway through which we can make contact with ancestors, animals, elementals, or guides. Messages can go back and forth through this portal, and with practice, we can learn to decipher the communications. This card may be affirming your gift as an empath, psychic, or medium, able to decrypt these mystical letters from the universe. There are various ways to make contact through spirit boards, tarot cards, pendulums, and automatic writing. Psychic portal may be speaking to a thinning of the veils, whether it's that time of year or you're sensing a message from the great beyond. This could be a message from an ancestor, human spirit, or other entity. However, mediumship isn't just about making contact with the dead or spirit guides. It can be about reconnecting with your own higher self. You might already have the gift of a seer, but may need to consider ethics and boundaries when working through the veils. If you have pulled the boundaries card or the eternal student card with this one, it is especially important to follow the message of boundaries or receive counsel from a professional. If you're interested in exploring this practice further, then you will need to seek out an experienced teacher to learn the skills of mediumship. The third eye can be worked to attune our sixth sense, which can help us to open the mystic gateway. Think of the third eye, the sixth chakra, as a muscle that can be flexed and extended. If it's too closed, we can miss out on information or misinterpret it. If it's too open, we can become overwhelmed with details, so we will need to rein it in by creating a stronger boundary. Third eye exercises such as visualization, meditation, dream journaling, or past life recall can support mediumship skills. A balanced third eye can bring us more focus, concentration, and clarity of intuition. This chakra is not only the center of our intuition, awareness, and psychic abilities, it also perceives light and time. As it is connected to the pineal gland, the body's internal clock that is affected by light. The third eye is the key that helps us to unlock the psychic portal. Wow. That's really cool. So yeah, some of you might have some mediumship abilities. I certainly feel empathic with this here. Your apparition card is also talking about, I think, a ghost. Let me look really quick. Where is it at? Apparition. Okay, so it says could also refer to an ancestor or person who just passed. So again, this is talking about mediumship here. It says grief, disease, loss, and also theft. Grief, disease, loss, and theft could also refer to an ancestor or person who just passed. Perhaps some of you are dealing with grief. Okay, or even for, some of you might be having some health issues there as well, or have experienced some type of loss. If you have, okay, because this is also talking about capability amid instability and crisis, because, we all go through life experiences. Some of us have more challenging experiences that we go through than others. Sometimes there can be a lot of very traumatic things that we go through. And I feel like the important thing for you with finding more purpose in your life is really to get you back to a state of stability, okay? And your ability to, also capability to, how do I want to say this? Kind of like, I feel like this is about you really delving into and connecting to your inner strength and realizing how strong you really are, okay? To be able to overcome no matter what types of things that you are experiencing in your life. Because I feel like for you, this is also about your ability to, how do I want to say? Kind of like, not let these things that you go through to completely derail your life, even though sometimes there are certain things that might make us feel that way, that you don't let those things or the feelings or the emotions, the thoughts and beliefs associated with that to completely rule your life. That you still maintain power, you still maintain control, even with those things that you're experiencing that are challenging, okay? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel fear or that you shouldn't feel your pain or your grief or your loss, but it's about your ability to be able to know that you have the power to overcome, okay, through that you are this anchor, that you feel more grounded in yourself, okay? Because you also have endurance here too. You have endurance here. I want to look at your challenger. And the challenger energy is Leo, okay? It says leadership, inspiration, truth, persuasion, and power. It says take a moment to plan, to gather all the resources and information required before taking the next step. Success is just a fleeting moment, not the catalyst for change. Adversity and challenge shapes us. Okay? Adversity and challenge shapes us. So I feel like what Spirit's saying here is that, although success is an amazing thing, right? Being successful at something or wanting to be successful, but that feeling of success is something that is temporary. It's more or less your path of getting to that place of success that is really the catalyst there. It is really where it almost kind of feels like Spirit's saying this is about your journey of arriving there. Okay? And the example that I want to give to you with this, and it's not the same thing, okay? It's nowhere near the same thing. But it is something that's kind of coming up in my mind in terms of this, okay? So, on my other channel, for those of you that are not familiar, I do have another tarot channel, Moon Moth Goddess. When I started on YouTube, my whole goal was to have as many subscribers as I could get. And that was my only focus, is I want more subscribers. I want more subscribers. I want more subscribers. And that was it. I was focused on the numbers. Okay, which I feel like most YouTubers, when you first start out, like, you want to grow your channel. You want to be big on YouTube. And that goal that I had, right, was achieving, because once you achieve the 100,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, you get that plaque, you know, that award plaque for passing 100,000 subscribers. And I put in a lot of time, of effort, of dedication and commitment to working towards that goal. And it was challenging. And there were days that I wanted to quit, days that I wanted to give up, days that people who left negative comments really hurt my feelings. And I felt like, why am I doing this? Why should I keep doing this? And that journey to get to that place was very challenging. And once I received the award, okay, yes, it was an amazing milestone to get to. However, the feelings that I had getting to that place and knowing how hard I worked, was the feeling of that was something that I look back on versus, oh, I made it to 100,000 subscribers. So what I feel like, the reason I'm telling you that is because the energy that I'm getting from this here is that you have this card of grounding here. And like I said, there's an anchor here, which is about stability. It's about security. But Spirit is also mentioning here your capability amid the instability and crisis. And here we can see two bulls that are, you know, got their horns together here. And I don't know, maybe some of you are Taurus watching this. But I feel like this is you finding your strength to keep going, right? You have seeds here, and of course you want to see kind of like what types of seeds are you planting. Are they seeds of negativity? Are they seeds of hope, of trust, of faith in yourself, of believing in yourself? But these seeds are also something that require nurturing, right? So let's just say you have an idea, you have a plan. It requires you to nurture it, right? Much in the same way that I had to say, okay, this is what my goal is. This is what I would like to have, right? For the outcome of that channel. And I had to do all of that hard work. You know, I had to sometimes stay awake late at night or wake up super early in the morning, you know, trying to get everything done, trying to make sure that I stayed consistent and dedicated and committed to what that goal is. And even though there was a lot of stuff going on in my life at that time, it was my ability to stay grounded and anchored into what I was doing, right? Or what I wanted to achieve in my life. In this case for you, this is about you finding more purpose in your life, right? That understanding, because this card also reminds me a lot of the Wheel of Fortune. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is about the ebb and flow of life, and knowing that sometimes there are amazing, beautiful cycles that we go through in life, and sometimes we feel like life is handing us nothing but negative, right? Negative things that are kind of happening in our life sometimes for a long time, right? And we feel like, how am I ever going to get out of this type of thing? But I feel like it's your ability to face the challenge, face the adversity, because it is through that is where your personal change and growth happens, right? Not just from the finish line and achieving the success, but it's everything that you did to get there. Okay? So when you have a goal, right, and this is what I was telling about you guys earlier, is about taking time to evaluate your life and everything that is in it. Does it hold meaning for you? Does it have a purpose? Right? And if it doesn't, and it's not something that is making you feel happy or fulfilled, and it's creating more grief or more pain than anything else, should it be something that you should let go? Maybe it's a certain aspect of the self. Maybe it's holding on to old pain or old trauma or old versions of yourself that are no longer serving you. Okay? So let's also see what this tower is about. I'm curious to see if it is anything having to do with like the tower and the tarot. What is that? 19. It says confinement or entrapment, foreboding and intimidating, a prison or stronghold, material wealth, ascent and prosperity. So confinement or entrapment, a prison. This almost, because look at how this little bird too is in a cage. Maybe for some of you, you need to work on giving yourself permission to experience joy and happiness. You know, some of you might be limiting yourself or keeping yourself, in a sense, in a cage. Not allowing yourself to fly, not allowing yourself to explore. Okay. So interesting. I want to see where your tarot is going to take this. So let's see. Yeah, some of this, it kind of feels like Spirit saying that some of you might have untapped potential. Okay, untapped potential that you're needing to not be afraid of, allowing yourself to step outside of your comfort zone and discover, explore, have fun, have a good time doing so. Okay. All right, let's see. Group 3. How can you find more purpose in your life? Group 3. How can you find more purpose in your life? How can you find more purpose? Oops. We have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is about planting a seed, and you guys did have the seed here, okay? Planting a seed, it's about starting a new project, working on something new, something tangible. But remembering it is a seed, okay? So it needs time. It needs nurturing, patience, okay? So working on something. How can you find more purpose in your life? Oops. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is about dedication, commitment. It's about taking baby steps, working towards a goal. Okay? Is what the Knight of Pentacles is all about. Working towards a goal and committing yourself to it. So maybe for some of you, setting goals for yourself could be something that helps you, right? Also, the Knight of Pentacles is about taking your time to make sure that everything that you do, invest your time and energy into, has a purpose. Does me putting my energy into this person, place, situation, does it hold meaning? Does it have a purpose? Okay. How can you find more purpose in your life? Group 3. Two of Pentacles. Okay. How can group 3 find more purpose in their life? The 4 of Wands. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles here. The 8 of Pentacles is about hard work and discipline. Okay, some of you, this could be a hobby. Okay, the 8 of Pentacles can have to do with apprenticeship and working on your talents, or working on a hobby. Okay, so something that you like to do, something that you're passionate about. The 8 of Pentacles, because it does talk about us putting in a lot of hard work and effort into something. The 8 of Pentacles also has to do with self-mastery. Okay, which means that we're putting the time and effort and energy and committing ourselves to getting better and better and better at something or the self. Okay. Working on yourself. In order for you to see the tangible results, right, in your life. Let's see. How can you find more purpose in your life, group 3? We have the Devil. You know, be aware of what your fears are, of what your limitations are, of how your own sometimes emotions or thoughts could manipulate you. How you could be allowing the thoughts or the feeling, or I'm sorry, the thoughts or the opinions even of others to limit you. The Devil can talk about manipulation, lies, illusion, deceit. You know, our own ego kind of getting in the way. The unhealthy aspect of the ego. Now, the Devil can also talk about unhealthy patterns of behaviors, addictions. Some of you, if you're struggling with some type of unhealthy habits or addictions, this could be working towards recovery, healing, okay, of those. Also take some time to think about what limiting beliefs you have. If you're someone who lives constantly in fear, insecurity, doubting yourself, you certainly want to start there with working towards building yourself up again. I also feel some of you can benefit from bonding and connecting with people. Okay, so if you are someone who does have a tendency to isolate yourself from others, this is where you surrounding yourself with people, kind of like I was talking about, surrounding yourself with positive people that are uplifting, inspiring to you, people that you look up to, people that you're inspired by. Maybe it's something about their life or the way they live it or the way that they, you know, are doing something that kind of makes you feel like, wow, how did they get there? How did they do that? How did they accomplish that, right? That's where you can kind of build those and form those meaningful bonds and connections with others. You work on opening yourself up, sharing, you know, about yourself, and then, but making it balanced, right? Where you and the other person can connect and have a mutual, harmonious, balanced relationship. Friendships may also be something that is beneficial to you. Let's see what else. How can you find more purpose in your life? Group 3. We've got Judgment. Okay. Now, Judgment is about answering the call of your soul. It's also about making major life decisions, judgment calls. You also have the Emperor energy here as well. So the Emperor is all about structure. It's about discipline. It's about a firm, solid foundation. So for some of you, a big thing here might be you feeling more stable within yourself. Okay, you're building a solid foundation for you in which to build upon other things, right? This is about structure. It's about a solid foundation, discipline, strategy, decisive action, being more assertive. Okay. Standing up for yourself, having a voice. Now, this doesn't mean that we're being mean to other people or putting other people down. We are kind of standing strong on our own, okay? Feeling solid on our own. The Judgment card can also talk about releasing, okay? Letting go, transformation, rebirth. So some of you, this could be, again, letting go of the old version of the self, helping yourself to transform by taking time to work on yourself, taking time to focus on goals. We also have the Two of Pentacles energy here, which does have to do with instability. It can also have to do with you. I'm feeling for some of you, this is going to be for all of you, but some of you might be needing to work on being more financially secure and independent. Okay, that message is not for everyone, but I'm feeling more financially secure and independent. Okay. Also, making yourself a priority, putting yourself first. Okay, some of you may also benefit from creating more balance in your life, in your schedule, so that you are filling it with things that do bring you joy and happiness. What else am I getting here? Another thing that I'm seeing is taking time to have fun. Okay, to do things that bring joy and happiness into your life. Those of you where you do feel like you're pretty sure you've got some mediumship abilities here and some strong psychic abilities, I feel like this is certainly Spirit wanting you to encourage you to be more, I would say, more closely connected into your spiritual self, because you do also have a lot of earth energy here, and there's nothing wrong with that. But with all these pentacles that are here, this can also be when we are very much focused with the material world, okay? Which the devil also can talk about materialism. And you've got the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So maybe for some of you, this can also be creating a little bit more balance with your spiritual self and also your 3D life, okay? Creating a little bit more harmony there as well. So that could be helping you to get better connected to your ancestors, to your animal spirit guides, and to your spirit guides in general, your higher self, by taking time to shift your focus away a little bit, right, from so much of the material world, and creating more harmony within the spiritual as well. Okay. All right. So let's pull your last messages here for you, group 3. How can you find more purpose in your life? We've got flow. Flow and guidance. Yeah. So when you do, right, receive that guidance from within, that you are able to flow with it. You're able to be flexible, right? And if you are, by chance, kind of going through something that is particularly challenging or difficult, this is about us, I feel like, in order to kind of make that process easier, right? Even though it could be something that's super, super challenging, it's kind of accepting that might, it is where we're at the moment, and to try to work as best we can to flow along with whatever it might be. Okay? Yeah, leaning into it a little bit and not trying to resist so much of what is happening or what is going on, but more or less us embracing that stage or that phase of where we're at. But again, maintaining a sense of security that we are going to move through it, right? It is temporary. It is not going to last. And we can kind of flow through with life, with the ebb and flow of life, to move through that stage. Okay? All right. So that is all that I have for you, group 3. I do hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.